Welcome back to Talk 22, 24, 25, 26, 27. Welcome back to Talk 21. I'm here with my co-host, Sam Genova.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. So the weather's finally warming up. Dave is
Really?
not really. You know what? Do you guys
It's
remember
beautiful.
being
It's a
like
beautiful day today, but it's still like 8-10 degrees.
this? Do you guys remember? What isn't it always supposed to be warm in May?
Well, yeah, it should more warmer than this. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Right.
it definitely hasn't. We had one nice week, but that's about it.
One nice week. Which week was that?
Like in April,
Yeah.
beginning of April it was warm.
It's been cool, but you know what? It's not bad.
Are you guys starting to prepare your backyards? Get the flowers and all that. Like, are you
No.
committing to it?
No flowers, but we've started to clean up and
Yeah.
and take care of things around the back. Yeah, everything's looking good.
Now, Dave, off camera, you were saying something that you wanted to say before we start our episode. You wanted to say something about the market as a whole. Tell me about that story that you were saying.
No, I mean, we've been noticing, okay, everybody's talking about doom and gloom and the market's soft and we don't know when it's going to come back. But I'm noticing like the entry-level freehold in the Greater Toronto, not in the Greater Toronto, but in the core, has been like pretty hot. Like I've been working with buyers that are moving out of a condo and they need more space. And they're looking at Leslieville and like core properties that are total freeholds, like attached row houses, semis, even detached. Forget about detached, but attached and semis with laneways and with a parking spot especially, they're flying. We're back in multiples in a lot of that product. I mean, it could be specifically to that area. You know what I mean? I'm sure we're not seeing that in all segments, but the Toronto core is still a good demand. We're finding every property that's listed between like $899 and $1.1 million. They're all stalling for offers again, and they're all successful. Like 5-6 days on the market. One came on the market yesterday, and it already sold in the same day. 0 days on market, updated, firm, no conditions. So people are still looking to be in Toronto, which is a very good thing, because there's a lot of you hear a lot of people wanting to not be around here anymore and thinking about getting out of the city, getting out of Canada in general. So the fact that some of these people are eager to make moves in Toronto is pretty good.
Yeah,
You say getting out of Canada.
I'm just saying.
No, but it's true.
Some people are like, everybody's worried about what's going on worldwide, and people are questioning like what's going on here, and where we thought Canada and Toronto and Ontario was a fantastic place to live. People are like going back to where they came from. So, and
I will say this. In the Toronto market, if we want to just talk about the GTA, right? We are divided between homes and condos. That's our market. You know, if you start to go more east or west, they don't really deal with condos all that much. It's more homes.
Yeah.
But over here,
suburbia.
That's right. Yeah. So over here's the whole episode. Okay, Toronto condos are collapsing. So why are smart buyers jumping in, guys? First of all, is the Toronto condo market collapsing, or has it already collapsed?
Go ahead,
I mean,
Sam.
I think it's definitely already collapsed. Is it going to go down a little more? Probably. So I think I know where you're going with this comment is, people are starting to take opportunities with the pricing that's there, especially for the bigger units. But like the smaller units are still a challenge to move the.
What's bigger? What's bigger?
Anything bigger than 600, 650 square feet, because usually that's a 1-bedroom. Anything bigger than that, it's a little easier to move, but it takes time. Like like people just don't have the confidence. But there's opportunities out there for sure.
But that segment is definitely slow, especially where all of the big volume is. Like Midtown, you got stuff in Marine Parade, and you got different areas where they're really congested with a lot of units and a lot of purpose. Like a lot of people were investors, and so basically a lot of those properties we're finding they're really soft, right? But good pockets still command pretty good pricing. I mean, they're down, but they still sell. Like in our community, I live in Vaughan and Woodbridge, and on Woodbridge Avenue, there's one specific address right on the strip. It's a great building. It's an older building, and they're big square footage, and all the baby boomers that want to get out of their big homes, they want that building, they want that area.
But it's sought after because maybe the size makes sense, the rooms
Definitely.
make sense.
Size,
Definitely
the
sense.
location,
Right.
because they live in that area. So it's not a condo community per se, Woodbridge, even though it is developing to be that way. But there are people that have been living in Woodbridge for 30, 40, 50 years that need to downsize into condos. And so there's only so many condos in this community. And if you want to be downtown Woodbridge Avenue, there's only so many really good buildings. And that's what's happening. I feel like good units, when they go to market, they sell. Are prices down? Yes. I've been tracking it. And like, I just sold a beautiful condo to a client of mine. And it was over $1 million for 1,500 square feet. So just over $1 million for 1,500 square feet, over 1,500 square feet. And the one before that was $100,000 more than we bought it for. So it's still coming down a bit, but it's a good deal. Like,
Yeah,
it's a
there's
good deal. Like,
opportunities.
it's a good deal.
Well,
Now, but if you're going to go to like Jane and Highway 7, where there's a bunch of condos, you know what I mean? Then it's different. You know what I mean? Then the market's a bit softer and it's more price point per square foot. They do that math, right? People are doing that math.
One thing people can't forget is location.
Yeah.
And certain buildings have values for a reason because of whether it's square footage, the way it's managed, and just like location. And same with neighborhoods in the city. You know what? People want to live in the good neighborhoods. They want to have their kids in good schools, especially in Toronto and Vaughan and all other areas. So those areas are always going to have a high demand.
And then going back to that point, when you're pricing something out and trying to evaluate something, it's really case per case. Like, overall we're down, but certain areas are getting more money than other areas.
For sure.
So,
and some areas did not go down.
but if you're looking for a good deal, this is the time. Like, if you don't need a specific area and you want to get into the market, this is the time, because we might be at the very bottom.
So
And how are you
let's spit some facts here. All right. So why are condos sitting so long on the market? Let's talk about the obvious. Dave, we'll start with you. Why do you think? What's the main reason why condos are sitting so long on the market?
There's, in certain buildings, they're very, very, there's a lot of inventory, and people are not adjusting accordingly. If things are not selling, it's price point. You know what I mean? So, you've got beautifully staged condos or virtually staged condos. They're like 500, 400, 700 square feet, whatever they are, the entry levels. They all look fantastic, especially these new buildings that are just finished and like they've barely been lived in. And there's a ton of them. And it's not like you have to make them look any better.
Yeah,
It's just,
I also think that it's there's reason why there's so many. It's because it's an influx of investors selling their entry level condo, which now does not make sense on paper to even hold. You're in the minus every month. So all these investors who invested in these small units are now all flooded the market with them.
So now here's what I want to say. I want you guys to tell me which one of these do you feel has the most relevance to what I'm about to say. Buyers finally have leverage again. Do they have leverage with conditional offers, price negotiations, free upgrades, or seller discrepancies? Let's say maybe they have to. So what do you think is the number one leverage that buyers have in this particular market when it comes to condos?
just price point, most of it.
I mean, it's a buyer's market for condos, so they can really dictate.
Yeah, I think, if it's a new building, it doesn't matter. It's just price point. It's so easy to do cost per square footage in those buildings. If you look at the last 10 sales and you do a very easy calculation, square footage divided by the price divided by square footage, you can get that number. So if anybody's looking for way more, they're out to lunch. I mean, you can evaluate something a little bit more because it's on a higher floor or more parking spots per se or lockers, but the prices are like, you're not getting $80,000 for a parking spot in the city anymore. You know what I mean? No. You're not getting $25,000 for a locker in the city anymore on these like highly saturated buildings that have units for sale, right?
Yeah.
What else? Older units, yeah, renovations count, like on an older building, and how well the property's been maintained, like the condo core, how it's been maintained. If the maintenance fees are low and they're managed properly, those buildings are worth more money too. We've seen that.
Now this is a very important question. I highlighted this one because I think I really want to know your opinion on this. Sam, we'll start with you. Are we witnessing a market correction or a reset? What do you think we're witnessing? What are we a part of when it comes to the condo market now?
That's a pretty good question.
Is it a market correction or a full-on reset?
I think it's a correction. I mean, I think that with what happened in COVID and just the way the market was going anywhere from like 2020 to 2022, those jumps in values were just insane. And we knew it as agents.
Yeah.
Like I would talk to my clients all the time and say, guys, this is not normal. You know, I talked to my wife about it and be like, it's just crazy because you go in with facts and numbers
And then it
and
just
stuff
gets
was
blown out.
Stuff was selling for way more. So definitely something needed to change. I think it's hopefully for the better. I know these are maybe like, down times for some people, but I think once the correction clears and everything, the dust settles per se, I think we'll be a resilient
Yeah.
real estate
Gotcha.
market again.
Dave, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not sure if there's a big difference between a reset or
Well, no, a market. No, hold on. A market correction meaning that now the market is on the right trajectory, or is it a full-on reset meaning that they did it all wrong and now they have to readjust everything?
So right now they're saying, Dave, sorry to interrupt, they're saying that values roughly right now are like 2018, 2019.
2020, actually, I looked that up. They said 2026 prices are equivalent to 2020 prices.
Yeah, I heard 2019, but
yeah. I mean, I guess either one of them's a fair statement, depending how you want to interpret it. But it was definitely needed. It was definitely needed because it was getting to be a bit.
Well, first of all,
ridiculous.
Dave, we're in a first world country. And
Yes.
you were saying earlier, you said some condos are 400 or 500 square feet. Really think about that's not even this big.
I know.
Like that's not a livable space. That's not even a bachelor pad. They made dog crates in the sky.
Yeah.
So who's gonna buy that? And at the time, how much was it during COVID? 700,000-800,000.
I mean, they were over 1,000 a foot.
Isn't
right?
that
So-
nuts? So now, don't you think that you need a full reset? You need to say everything we did was completely wrong. Wouldn't you agree with that?
I don't know about that because we have other cities like other city centers like New York and Vancouver.
But New York is different.
But no, but I'm just saying
even
it gets to that is what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
when you're talking about like Toronto core, big cities, the values do go up. But the problem with our city is it just went up too quick.
yeah,
And I think it was not just. I think it was an influx of people coming into the country. Rates were a big factor, like inflation. It was a recipe for a really big bubble, and correction or a reset, whatever you want to call it. We needed something. And here we are. You know what I mean?
And here we are. Now, I have two more points. I have one question for you guys and then one debate. One question is, Sam, we're going to start with you. Why first-time buyers might regret staying on the sidelines right now? So do you think that it's a mistake for first-time buyers to be sidelining it and waiting for something right now?
for condos,
Always
Anything.
condos. That's what. No, well, condos
just
is this
condos.
episode. So do you think that they were going to regret staying on the sidelines?
I actually think that a lot of the first time buyers are actually jumping into the market now because they're seeing the numbers don't lie, right? You're seeing how in the last 2 years the trajectory of the condo market's going and how much you can save. And it doesn't matter the list price, there's also negotiation on top of the price
okay.
because you have so much selection. Your unit really needs to stand out compared to the other 10, right? Whether it's view, whether it's staging it, whether it's doing a little bit of renovation to stand out from the rest. So I think it's at the time is the market going to go down further? We don't know. But I think that first time buyers are really starting to jump into the market.
Yeah, I think.
Dave, what do you think?
I think any buyer should be jumping in. First time buyers even more so. There's still the incentives like the.
But is
land
there
transfer.
regret if they don't jump in right now? Do you think that they'll regret it?
I don't know. We can't peg it exactly if this is the very bottom, but you can't peg it exactly. So you should be getting in. Like if you want to stay in Canada and you're thinking to build the life here, and you're renting right now,
Yeah, and it's long term.
and it's like you're thinking long term,
Long-term,
and
yeah.
real estate is what you want to invest in. This is the time. Like this is the time
But
to
that's
buy.
that's not the question we have.
Well,
Will they regret it?
Condos,
Yes.
condos,
Yes, condos.
Will they
If they-
regret not jumping in now?
They will not regret jumping in now.
Oh, okay.
Because if they have the right condo building, if they choose the right location, and they get a good deal, you will definitely make money on it. Like I wouldn't buy like a
That's
dog
a big
crate.
statement.
I wouldn't buy a dog crate in the sky like I don't know facing a cemetery or a railroad track.
Okay.
But if you're looking at a location like I always love Marine Parade
Yeah,
down there. If
me
you
too.
find a location that's
Where's that?
facing
Where's that?
down at Royal York and Lakeshore, where
Oh.
all those condos are going
Okay.
up,
Yeah.
they're bringing the big hub there for all public transit. It's going to be down at the corner there. You got beautiful condos that are facing the city line, and if you can jump on a condo in that pocket that's facing the city line with clear unobstructed views, at a good deal, you'll never lose on that product. That building, those buildings that are facing the city line will never be obstructed. Nobody's going to be building anymore in that area, right?
And what people forget is, especially with what's happened previous, is real estate's always been a long-term investment, right?
Yeah.
So people would buy and be able to sell, a year or two later and make money. So
Because COVID messed everyone up, saying that they could flip it in a year.
yeah,
You got to hold on to it.
Or pre-construction. People were buying pre-construction,
Right.
and when it closed, they would sell it. So I'm not talking about that. You're talking about first-time buyers
First-time buyers in a
looking to
condo.
get into the
Will they
market.
regret? Now,
No.
so
They won't regret it.
my debate question, which I'm going to change now, was would you buy now or wait 6 more months? Now, you both confirmed now would probably be a better idea. So I'm going to scrap that.
No, but you could wait 6 months. I don't think the market's coming back
Well, so,
that quickly.
But
so
here's
you
the
could
debate.
wait.
Here's the debate.
Yes.
And I'm going to take this off. I'm not going to even look at that. If I had to say to you guys now, wait a minute. So you're telling me I should jump into the condo pool right now. My question to you guys now is, what about those maintenance fees that keep climbing and climbing and climbing? Is it an investment for me to get into a condo that has such high maintenance fees when I know that the market isn't going to give me my return on investment for a long time?
Okay, hold on. So
Here we go.
personal residence is never an investment.
Yeah.
So
okay.
that's where your mindset needs to change. Personal property for you to live is never an investment. So if you have a lifestyle and you like condos and you're coming and going, you don't want to take care of the grass, you don't want to, that's the lifestyle you're going to choose. Right?
Or if you're in a price point, again, if you're on a price point where you can't afford a freehold home, and the condos where you can afford, instead of spending $3,000 a month, you can buy a condo, and what you're spending might cover, and even if it doesn't exactly cover, you're gonna at least build some equity. Even though I know you're saying it's not an investment per se, in the long run you should make money on it.
Right.
And the fact of the matter is you're putting money back into what you what you purchase rather than putting it in a landlord's pocket. When you buy a condo, you need the guidance of somebody who knows areas, and every building has different maintenance. You have to make sure you're buying a condo that has been properly managed, and like there's a good status certificate to review, not something that has problems and so on and so forth. So you gotta know what you're buying, and you need to basically rely on like somebody like us that can give you that information and pick the right unit, pick the right building.
Fair. Now, Sam, at that camera, you're going to tell everybody, because it's been a while, where they can find you guys and pick your brains about this condo market and if it's a good investment for them.
You can find me at Sam Jello Real Estate on Instagram.
And you can find me at C21 Fine Living Realty.
Dave's getting better. And guys, of course, don't forget, we got YouTube, we got Spotify, we got SoundCloud, we got all of those beautiful platforms. And until next time.
Bye-bye.